Thank you for joining us tonight as we gather in song to celebrate Mr. Tom Stokes.
But before we start the concert, I did want to share with you how this tribute concert came to be. Late last spring, it was an old friend, Aaron Simmons, that reached out. He sent a message to 14, maybe 16 of us former Menonoters, saying, how cool would it be to get together and sing, maybe do a reunion of sorts and include Tom. And we all thought that how neat this would be, and he mentioned, gosh, 2023 is when that graduating class of Menonote would hit 30 years. Yeah, we're old. Yeah. That message drummed up a ton of interest and conversation as well as some brainstorming. The difficulty in that idea was that we're all quite spread out. When you look at all of the guys and all of the people that have sang with Tom over the years, we're all over the country, the world, doing wonderful things in music and not in music. And so having this coordinated and come together, we needed a hub, and Music Boosters, I presented that to Music Boosters at one of our meetings, and it was welcomed with open arms, and thus started this little idea of doing a tribute concert to Tom. The next step was convincing Tom that we should do this. So I stopped in, and I wasn't sure what to expect. I asked him if I could meet with him, and I shared the idea, and Tom was visibly moved. It meant a lot, and I knew we were doing the right thing, so for all of us, it's an opportunity to not only just reunite and to sing again. I sing with the same guys, I'm tired of them, but to see a lot of old faces, a lot of friends, but also the lives that Tom has touched along the way has been awesome. And I have been at the hub of that and watching all of these comments fly in. So it just means I cried earlier than all of you when you read all of those things. So tonight, as you see in your programs, we have some of the ensembles that Tom has influenced and been a part of creating, starting with Men of Note, Weston, the Teach program, DeGuys. We have West Middle School and East Middle School singers joining us as well, because he was so influential in those, in that population as well. And it's where really things started. And as well as the Overtones, which is a group that I sing with as well. These ensembles today had a chance to work collaboratively together, as well as our old former singers with Tom, and it was awesome. It was 80 to 90 guys on stage and working together and trying to figure this piece out, all while Tom is there adjudicating us, looking at us going, yes. And we love that. And he gave wonderful input and talked to this group, and you'll see the age span. It's awesome. So I don't want to talk anymore about this, but I want to let you know that this is important certainly for Tom, but it's equally as important for us to show our gratitude. So first up, the ensemble that sings currently at Traverse City Central High School, Men of Note.
and wide. Hold me, rock me in your arms, oh, I got a home on the other side. Hold me, rock me, calm and easy. Hold me, rock me, deep and wide. Hold me, rock me in your arms, oh, I got a home on, I got a home on, I got a home on the other side. Someday we'll cross that river, someday we'll set out on my own. Don't know where my journey leads, but I'll keep on walking till I get home. Yes, hold me, rock me, calm and easy. Hold me, rock me, deep and wide. Hold me, rock me, in your arms. I got a home, I got a home, I got a home, I got a home, I got a home on the other side. My life is a running river, flowing from the mountains to a distant sea. I rode many hills and valleys, but when I reach that ocean, I'll be free. Yes, hold me, rock me, calm and easy. Hold me, rock me, deep and wide. Hold me, rock me, see your arms. I got a home, I got a home, I got a home, I got a home, I got a home on the other side. Yes, I got a home on, I got a home on, I got a home other side, on the other side. Lo no lo faccia, lo no lo faccia io. Sitium. Lo no lo faccia, lo no lo faccia io. Sitium. Io no lo faccia io, no 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 no faccia io, no no faccia io, no no lo 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 faccia io.
Good evening. So Tom shared with you, Mr. Hoxie, 30 years is the 30 years. Yes, 30 years. Actually, it began in 1988 or 1989. I believe, actually, Tom, well, all of the articles indicate that this started in 1989 when we were in 9th grade. I'm pretty sure you were, what's the term, grooming us in 8th grade for this potential opportunity. So in 1988, I believe it was James Watts, Jason Cott, Jeremy Hogue, Ben Faulkner, and, I can't believe I'm doing this, John Lenzini. 5 stinky 8th grade boys invited to be a part of this extracurricular experience where Tom would not be paid. He would not be working during working hours. It was all in the evenings. It was all on the weekends. What kind of person does that? Honestly, we smelled bad. We were wildlings. But, you know, the kind of person does that is a person who knows that they are in love with what art is capable of doing. Tom Stokes looked past our shenanigans. He looked past our immaturity and our stench. And he saw what could be. He didn't see what was. Art can do that. He listened to our voices. He made decisions about which vocal parts each of us should be a part of. He arranged the music, even, to highlight our strengths and minimize our weaknesses. And he corralled these 5 young men, these 5, let's be frankly honest, boys, into a fine-tuned machine. Oh, in 9th grade, we went to youth arts. We won top honors. Yeah, 9th grade. And we all got in-school suspensions as well. Yeah, we were all excited about staying in a hotel. We were in 9th grade. It was a good time. We had girls in this area. We had boys in this area. And I'm pretty sure, I'm going to leave Ben Faulkner out of this because he was just an innocent. But John, James, Jeremy, and Jason, we wanted to play cards with the girls. You know? I mean, it was innocent. We just wanted to play cards with the girls. 10 minutes after they showed up in our room, the girls jumped into the bathroom shower, pulled the curtain closed. Jason, John, and James all jumped into bed and started snoring, leaving me. What am I supposed to do now? Answer the door! So I meekly go to the door, I open the door, and there's Tom. I don't know if he even remembers this, but there's Tom standing there, and he says, "We're missing some girls. Are they in your room?" I looked at him and I said, "Could be." It takes someone with vision and leadership to create compelling art. It's not going to happen with a bunch of 8th and 9th grade boys. Imagine if we could all look past what is and see what could be. That's a special gift. That's not something everyone can do. That's a gift that Tom Stokes has shared with every single individual he's come into contact with respect to music and art. These performers tonight are all born from our original 5 and our shenanigans. All born from that experiment and that expense of hours and time and energy. And I will share a secret. I don't think Tom Hoxie even knows this. He's 2nd generation. But if it had been up to the original 5, this would have not been. We were young and selfish, and it was an amazing story to be a part of. And we wanted it to be our story. Mic drop. We had a moment. It was amazing. But thank God, Tom, you didn't let that happen. Thank God you invited Tom Hoxie, Jeff Hogue, and Neil Picard to join us to continue the tradition. It was definitely an integration that the original 5 were not really happy about. Honestly, I don't know if Tom or Neil or Jeff ever experienced or felt that, but we were pretty selfish about this experience we were sharing together.
It hurts.
It hurts, yeah. But again, that's because Tom could look at what was and see what could be. I've been very fortunate with the directors and leaders who were involved in my early years. Think about Mark Puchala, think about Tom Stokes, Russ Larimer, my football coach, Roger Wood. These were all people of integrity and vision. They cared not just for the end product, but they cared about the path you walked to get there. So tonight we celebrate you, Tom. You helped form each of us. We will remain forever indebted to your vision and your love for what art is capable of doing. Moving the human spirit and elevating every single conversation. You look past what is and you envision what could be. And for that we thank you. And for that we love you. Thank you, Tom.
face when I have crossed the bar. Sunset and evening star and one clear call for me. And may there be no moaning at the bar when I put out to sea. When I embark my pilot see, when I have crossed the bar.
I will share with you a personal story about Tom and about that original group of men of note. I was a very, very young teacher, probably in my second or maybe third year of teaching, and went to the Michigan Youth Arts Festival and saw that group, that legendary group on stage singing. And I thought to myself as a young teacher, if only I could ever have such an amazing group of tenor bass singers. And I was so fortunate to be mentored by wonderful people like Tom, and to be able to grow up and have amazing singers like this, and also just to be here in this incredible community and to be part of a long tradition of amazing singing with so many amazing, wonderful music educators. I consider myself such a very, very fortunate individual. So Tom, thank you. You are the best.
If I had another penny, I would have another Jim. I would pay the piper, play me the bonny lass of Biker Hill. Biker Hill and Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore. Biker Hill and Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore. When first I came down to the dirt, I had no trousers, no piss shirts. Now I've got in 2 or 3, though Walker Pitt's done well by me. Biker Hill and Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore. Biker Hill and Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore. The pitman and the keelmen trim, they drink bumbo made from gin. Then to dance they do begin to the tune of Elsie Marley. Biker Hill and Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore. Biker Hill and Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore. Oh, Geordie taught and he had a pig, he hit it with a shovel and it danced a jig. All the way to Walker Shore to the tune of Elsie Marley. Biker Hill and Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore. Biker Hill and Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore. Oh, gentle Jenny, she's behind the barn with a pint of ale underneath her arm. A pint of ale underneath her arm, and she feeds it to the baby. Biker Hill and Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore. Biker Hill and Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore. Oh, if I had another penny, I would have another Jew. I would pay the piper, play me the bonny lass of Biker Hill. Biker Hill and Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore. Biker Hill and Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore.
It's an honor to be able to speak about Tom's influence and impact on music education in Traverse City. When trying to find words to describe Tom, I just want to preface this. Jeremy and I did not talk beforehand. Advocate, charitable, colleague, passionate, opinionated, influential, all come to mind. However, it's the words recognizing potential that rise to the top of my list. First off, Tom saw the potential in his students. He knew that in order for them to reach their full potential, he needed to help them be independent musicians. He was adamant about incorporating music theory and sight reading into his weekly lesson plans, and he saw the potential to create beautiful music by challenging them with developmentally appropriate repertoire that kept them growing, but more importantly, loving the journey that it took them on. Tom saw potential in his colleagues. I personally am ever grateful to have had the opportunity to teach with Tom at the beginning of my career. I'm not quite sure what the powers that be were thinking when they assigned me to teach male chorus during 6th hour. They had Tom right there. I was a floundering young teacher, and I apologize to those who survived that year. I desperately wanted to make music with them, but really I had my hands full with just trying to keep the 40 of them safe and not hurting each other, and stay focused on the tasks at hand. Tom encouraged me. He gave me tips, he gave me tricks to get the guys to buy into what I was needing them to do, and he never gave up on me. Perhaps it's just that scenario, now that I think about it, that maybe drove him to start Men of Note as a select ensemble to meet outside, so that they could thrive in that community. Potential is a word that describes his vision for the K-12 TCAPS music program. From hiring quality educators who shared his passion for music education for all, as well as being a tireless advocate to make sure we had 4 strong aspects of our program: general music, as well as the performing arts of band, choir, and orchestra. That philosophy continues to today. Tom was a generous and collaborative colleague. While others may not quite understand, I'm not sure my family did, but when my husband and I got married, one of the best gifts that we got was Tom gave me his sight reading and ear training manuals hot off the press. I think I used them as much as the dishes that we got, and I still use them today. Tom was on the cutting edge of music and technology and was the first one in the department to use the music notation writer Finale. He used his newfound skills to create endless worksheets for his students, custom arrangements, and new compositions. He was generous with his time and helping colleagues learn how to do the same for their classes and showing the potential. Longtime colleague Lynn Hansen remembers him helping her with her 7th grade worksheets. There are memories that friends and colleagues have shared that are all filled with love and appreciation. Tom saw the potential that if we spent time together as a K-12 music staff, both in and out of school, we would realize we were a family. We needed to support each other. From music department gatherings at the Stokes family cottage before the start of the school year, to maybe I'll call them reflection times following each of our concerts at what used to be the Ground Rounder. There are some stories that perhaps Tom would prefer to forget, but he was always gracious and laughed and accepted the ribbing, especially the story about the equipment truck that he was driving on a junior high ensemble tour. I'm told that Tom was extremely cautious driving, followed the speed limit. He had a U-Haul filled of expensive equipment, and he paid attention to the traffic around him. However, he did not anticipate on this one particular tour that the U-Haul truck storage extension over the top of the cab was taller than the clearance under the bridge by the Traverse City State Park. Yep. The story goes that at the moment of impact, the truck stopped abruptly, of course. But the instruments and the equipment did not, and neither did his longtime colleague, Kathy Sivitz, who is the West Junior High Orchestra Director. For those of you much younger than I need to tell you that this was during the time when seatbelts were not required by law. With that impact, she found herself on her hands and knees on the floor of the truck. Once Tom asked Kathy if she was okay, and she came out underneath the dashboard, uninjured and laughing so hard she could barely breathe, she was just fine. His good nature was showed true when someone even brought a model of the U-Haul truck and customized it to match the crumpled roof of the real truck where he proudly displayed it in his school office. Tom, our celebration of you tonight is long overdue. We are grateful for your advocacy, your passion, your hard work, your example of work ethic, and your ability to realize the potential not in our programs here in TCAPS, but most importantly in the people. I am grateful, and while others may just be learning of the impact that you have had, the current and future TCAPS musicians are grateful as well. Tom, we love you, we appreciate you, and are so grateful for you.
Thank you, Traverse City, for inviting me to speak on behalf of Michigan choral educators this evening as you honor Tom Stokes' career of inspiration and influence. I can't imagine the choral world today in Michigan without his historical presence. His advocacy for quality middle school repertoire and his understanding of the tenor-based changing voice are unparalleled. His sight reading Materials inspired all of us to be more intentional about teaching literacy in the classroom. I reached out to many of Tom's colleagues across the state, and everyone expressed great respect for his creative intellect and his ability to inspire great music making with middle school and tenor bass choirs. Rick from Ann Arbor shared, Tom Stokes led a life dedicated to his choir students and colleagues. His years of service to the Michigan School Vocal Music Association included bringing his students to festivals, organizing festivals, adjudicating festivals, and participation on the MSVMA State Board. Kathy from Monroe shared, I have great appreciation for Tom's published sight reading books, in addition to the happy moments of students singing in honors choirs under his direction. Bruce from Orchard Lake said, Tom, I think he was Traverse City's secret weapon. The training students received from him in middle school set them free to excel at the high school level. Many of the amazing musical moments we've heard from their high school programs over the years have Tom's stamp on them. Karen from Blissfield remembers Tom's encouragement during festival adjudication, pointing out that musical artistry is more than correct notes and rhythms. He always encouraged others to take musical risks. Her private students to this day use his sight reading materials regularly for festival preparation. Les from Jennison will be forever grateful for Tom's insistence that there be separate treble and tenor bass choirs at the middle school level. The developmental importance of this inspired Jennison Junior High and High School to form its tenor bass choir program for 12 to 15-year-old singers. Like Traverse City, Jennison's program flourished, inspiring so many surrounding schools in West Michigan to do the same. Shirley from Grand Haven remembers Tom as a Renaissance man because of his ability to do anything in music: teach, conduct, arrange, compose, write. He does it all so well, she says. Her favorite memories are of their shared time serving on the MSVMA board. Anytime anything was opened up for discussion, Tom would always play the devil's advocate and speak to the dissenting side. At first, as you can imagine, it caused many groans and sighs, and let's just move on eye rolls. But as he continued, the brilliance of his strategy was realized. Thank you, Tom, for having the courage to dissent, to risk unwarranted judgment and disapproval in order to unsettle the complacent, to shake up the status quo. And Bob from Hastings said the clincher for him is that Tom is like the Energizer Bunny. He keeps going and going and going and going, always composing, always inspiring, always leading. Tom Stokes, thank you for being our friend. Thank you for inspiring all of us to think and feel beyond safe boundaries. And as Maya Angelou said, a hero is any person who is really intent on making this a better place for all people. Tom, you are a hero.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, I am on my way, bound for Jubilee. Hallelujah, hallelujah, I am on my way, bound for Jubilee. Oh, my brother, won't you come with me? Oh, and take you away, for you get to Jubilee. Hallelujah, 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 bound for Jubilee. Hallelujah, 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 bound for Jubilee. My Lord's calling, I must go with him. Can't you hear him calling you today? My Lord's calling, I must go with him. Or the devil might come and take me away, for I get to Jubilee. Hallelujah, 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 bound for Jubilee. Hallelujah, 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 bound for Jubilee.
So it all began in 1990. I was in 8th grade, and it was my first opportunity to sing in the male choir at Traverse City Junior High. And Tom Stokes was our teacher and our conductor. And there was a bunch of other guys just like me, and we had a lot of fun in that class. But as it is, you're in 8th grade, it was the spring concert. I had a solo along with a couple other guys in the Duke of Earl. I remember it was raining and I didn't want to go, but I went. And I'm glad that I did, because that night is what changed my life. Because while I was singing that solo, Lars Hockstedt Auditorium got so loud at the screaming voices of various 7th, 8th, and 9th grade girls that I knew that music was for me. And so from there forward, I participated in as many musical opportunities as I could in junior high, high school, college, and even in my adult life. And I'm fortunate to have remained friends and continue to sing with the Overtones, the original guys I was singing with in the 8th grade, which happens to be a group that was organized by Tom Stokes, because he had also organized the Northman Singers, which was a community chorus for men. My life would not be the same. It just wouldn't. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for Tom Stokes. So I really got to thank you. Appreciate it, Tom. Oh, and all the rides you gave me to various things that I couldn't get a ride to. Appreciate that too.
So the Overtones, at its roots, started in junior high, where all of us sang as part of junior high Men of Note. From there, we went on to be members of the high school Men of Note. And it was there that we provided Tom with his first gray hairs. Much like Jeremy and that group, we emulated everything. And our group, while talented and energetic, perhaps pushed the limits for Tom. We tested his patience more than once. From leading Neil, the 1994 Youth Arts Festival #1 Soloist of the Year, we like to give him a hard time about that. We left him behind at a Burger King for nearly 10 miles, only to realize that he was missing and go, did anybody check? Where's Neil? That time, no cell phones, so that was real fun. And sorry, Tom, that happened. We probably should have done our head counts. Always do your head counts, kids. Yeah. And then to a couple of us members showing up to what we thought was a warm-up rehearsal prior to a church service with ties undone, disheveled, only to find out that we actually interrupted the church service during mid-song. And so this is what it kind of looked like. It was conducting, glass was looking over, evil stare. It was not pretty. Sorry about that, Tom. We made a ton of mistakes that this man tolerated, and we are so grateful for your grace and your care. After high school and college, our group, the Overtones, was formed and was derived from a group Tom created called the Northman Singers. Tom came to us in sharing that he had many requests for singers, but simply could not fill them with such a large group and complex schedules. He assisted us in coming up with the Overtones name, and through those early years, Tom was instrumental in guiding guiding us on what we should perform, but also throwing out pieces he thought would fit our voices. Eventually, Tom came to us through another project he was affiliated with, Theater North. And it was there that he asked us to perform in Forever Plaid, this time getting a chance to perform with Tom on stage. It was an awesome experience, on which we won't forget. 13 shows, it was just phenomenal. As the years passed with the overtones, Tom went back to working in education, perhaps for the 100th time, just couldn't stop. And this time with Teach homeschool program, it was there that Tom would reach back out to us, but in this request, he asked us to consider working with his students and perhaps performing alongside them at their concerts. To us, it was a wonderful way for us to be able to give back and something that we will never forget. Tom, you've been a father figure to us. You have been a wonderful mentor and a friend. And you've not only influenced us, but our children through song. To see my kids sing on stage, to have them love music, watching Forever Plaid and watching the overtones sing is huge. To see our kids sitting in the front row, patiently watching and can't wait to see their parents sing is awesome and something I never ever imagined. So we are eternally grateful for that. The next group is the overtones, us, and I apologize for our unprofessionalism.
That's the one I don't really use the pitch, sorry. When this old world starts getting me down, and people are just too much for me to face, on the roofs, I climb way up to the top of the stairs, and all my cares just drift right into space, way on the roofs, the only place I know, where you just have to reach to make it so. Shoo-be-doo. Let me tell you now, when I come home, feeling tired and mean, I go up where the air is fresh and sweet. Up on the roof, I get away from the hustling crowd and all that red race noise down in the street. Down in the street, way on the roof, it's peaceful as can be. And there the world below can't bother me. Shoo-be-doo, let's go upon the roof. Up on the roof. On the roof. Not much about history, not much of biology, not much about science books, not much about the French I took, but I do know that I love you, and if this one could be with you, what a wonderful world this would be. Not much about geography, not much trigonometry, not much about algebra, not what a side rule is for, but I do know more than one is two, and if this one could be with you, biology. Don't know much about science books. Don't know much about the French I took. But I do know that I love you. And if this world could be with you, what a wonderful world this would be. What a wonderful world this would be. Oh, yeah.
So to pick up from one of Tom Hoxie's stories a minute ago, Stokes started the Northern Singers, and he was putting us together as the overtones. And we've been singing together for a really long time, and so naturally it made sense for us to sort of pick up some old songs that we've been singing for a long time, right? Like quick repertoire. So some of these songs we learned go all the way back to 8th grade, 9th grade, and this next one is one of them. And so although Stokes could do all the planning in the world and help us, make these songs better, there was something he couldn't overcome, and that was biology. Because when we first learned this song, I used to have the tenor solo. And in case you can't tell, that's a little different these days. Still a mystery to this day is why Hoxie somehow had the bass solo, and now he's a tenor. So I don't know, but anyway, that's the story. This is the Duber.
And it should be added that this was our first time ever singing on stage was this song. Kind of the important part, the whole reason was having you talk. Well, thanks, Mike. I can't be trusted. Tons of people watching. Come on, let's go.
Do 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 girl, do do girl, do do girl, do do girl, do girl, do girl, do girl, do have a song, walk through this world, nothing stop, do girl, you are my girl. No one can hurt you. Oh no. Yes, 'cause I love you. That was my part. Come on, let me hold you, darling. 'Cause I do go there. And when I hold you, you are my Duchess. This part is sorry. I'll walk through my doom and all paradise we will have. Yes, 'cause I love you. Oh, Lord. But come on, let me hold you, darling, 'cause I do go yeah, do go
short on time, so we need a couple of friends from the audience to join us in singing this last song. We have Aaron Simmons. Are you out there? He is. Join us, if you would.
Tom had us doing a gig in Sutton's Bay in our junior year, and on the bus we were notorious for just throwing songs together, and this is one of the ones that stuck, and we never had sheet music for it. When people ask to join in, we don't have anything to give them. Just join us and sing. Every time it's different, every time it's kooky, and people usually separate, and it's kind of weird. But the next song, I won't even tell you what it is.
Hi, Tom. John Lanzini here. I wish I were there in person to celebrate you and celebrate with you, but I wish you many, many congratulations on your retirement from afar. Moreover, I want to congratulate you on such amazing work in vocal music, through which you touched and you continue to touch and shape so many lives. Men of Note was so meaningful to me as a student, and I will always cherish what you fostered and all that we were able to share together as a group of guys. I think it's fantastic to see how the music in Traverse City and at the area high schools, now plural of course, have been shaped by your vision, your hard work, and your passion to see young people grow through vocal music. I'm proud to be one of the 6 original Men of Note. From the beginning, Tom, you always treated us with respect, you had a great sense of humor, and you were certainly very patient with us. Tom, in a nutshell, you brought out the very best in each one of us, and I know I can speak on behalf of all the guys in saying that we love you. Thank you, Tom. I wish you many blessings in your retirement, and I truly hope I can wish you well in person sometime very soon. Best for now.
Thank you. Before I continue with my comments, I want to thank each and every one of these gentlemen who share their talent with us tonight. Bravo. When I was born with a severe hair lip and cleft palate inside the mouth. So the roof of my mouth, instead of yours roof of the mouth is pretty smooth and round. Mine was like a church seat. I talk funny. If I could talk, half the words came out kind of garbled up. It was a difficult time. Recess outside during grade school was sheer terror for me. My self-image went down, It took a loving family to help boost me up. My older sister, Patty, happened to be the high school accompanist for Mr. Mel Larimer. I was still in junior high, hadn't sung up until then. I tried singing in elementary school, forget it. So when I entered junior high, during my sister's 9th grade year, she currently, being a member of the junior high choir, invited me to meet Mr. Larimer. Well, I didn't want it. Patty said, come on, he's not going to say anything bad. So I walked into his room, shook his hand, and Mel excused Patty, my sister, told her to come back in a half hour. And he started by saying, do you sing? And I said, I can't talk or be understood. He said, but do you sing? And I said, well, I really haven't tried. He said, well, come with me. And he took me out of the choir room, which was upstairs, I guess over there. And took me across the hall to a mathematics room. Now, usually math classes had the drop ceiling. Mel said, would you sing this? Oh. So I went, oh. Not sure of myself. Mel said, I bet there's more in there. Oh. Said, now follow me. Took me out of that room, came down to this hall, stood me in the middle of the room, and he said, now, give it all you got. Oh! I heard my voice. I heard the echo. It was bone-chilling to me to hear something nice come out of me. Mel looked at me and said, I expect you in my choir on Monday. Thank you. It takes the patience in a man or in a woman teaching to teach any child. You as parents know that. I want to thank Mel Larimer for introducing me to the choir class, and I'll have more about this after they sing the final song.
Wherever
To have a quality program requires a quality staff. And here I give thanks to the administration and school board for taking special care in hiring the best candidates for teaching our choir kids in our district. I'm not the only one who should receive accolades. We have a list of about 11 names. Please hold your applause till the end, of music teachers in our program who have been awarded Teacher of the Year awards for the band, orchestra, and choir, or the Milton Award, or the Maynard Klein Award from American Choral Directors Association, to the Music Education Award. So let me just quickly go down the list. 1992, John Campbell, Band, Teacher of the Year. 1994, Tom Stokes, Choirs, Teacher of the Year Award. 1994, Mel Larimer, ACDA, Maynard Klein Award. 1995, Lynn Hanson, Band, Milton Award. That also had a $10,000 prize attached to it. 1995, Dorothy Kunkel, Orchestra. When Dorothy received her award, we had the unique experience of within the same district, in the same building, you had the Teacher of the Year for band, vocal, and orchestra. That's phenomenal. You don't find that anywhere else in the state. 2005, Wendy Wolf Clark for choir, Teacher of the Year. 2006, Pat Brumbaugh, Band, Teacher of the Year. 2009, Mark Choral, Choir, Teacher of the Year. 2012, Wendy Wolf Clark, again, she can't get enough. Milton Music Education Award. 2014, Russ Larimer, Choir, Teacher of the Year Award. And who's last but not least, Eric Longman, 2022, Teacher of the Year Award. I've asked Tom to bring the house lights up. If any of those people are in the audience, would they stand and receive their award? Thank you. The last award ought to be given to music boosters and you, the audience. Without the audience, what do we do up here? And you have been faithful in your support, and I hope you continue that. Every child needs this experience. Thank you.